Do you think the single currency can survive?
The one thing I would do in 2017 is short the euro. I think it is a currency that is in not only demise, but that has a real problem and could in fact collapse in the coming year and a half.
Yes, money can indeed become worthless. Zimbabwe is the most popular recent example of hyperinflation. Believe it or not, they even printed a $100 trillion bill. Earlier in the 20th century, the same thing happened to Germany after World War I, and historic examples abound. How can something this dramatic happen? You need to understand that money is just paper or numbers on a screen. It only has value if people accept it as a medium of exchange. In other words, you only accept money for your goods or services because you know others will do the same. Now let's assume a revolution takes place in your country, and those who take over print lots of money, then hand that money to everyone. At the beginning, people might be tempted to celebrate, but eventually, too much money will end up chasing a limited number of goods, and confidence will disappear. A loaf of bread can go from costing 1 unit of currency to costing 1 trillion. Eventually, no matter how many zeros you add to a bill, nobody will want it.
The ECB expands its bond buying money printing program to $2.4 trillion. Stocks rose on the sheer fact that the central bank will support the European economy for a few extra months.
You see, Egyptian stocks went up 50%, which lo and behold kind of matches the collapse in the currency.
Well, same thing with Zimbabwe. They had a remarkable move in that stock market. The stock market is not a proxy for economic health.
Yeah.
The stock market is a proxy for economic fraud. If the markets are moving higher, that means fraud is commensurately moving high as well.
Some people didn't take too well to the news, and they are in almost a state of denial regarding the health and status of the euro. And those are the people that will be caught the most off guard.
And this is why you hold gold, because this financial system is not going to survive, in my view. It is not going to survive, and if it survives, there'll be so much money printing. Of course, that's worthless pieces of paper, so they're not going to save it anyway, but temporarily, at least, it might survive. But then all that money printing will debase currencies dramatically, which will mean that gold will, relative to currencies, continue to go up like it has always done in history.
The World Bank, IMF, Bank of Canada, George Soros, Jacob Rothschild, and many more have warned that we are in uncharted waters and on the edge of collapse. Putting your money in a mutual fund and holding it for 30 years will not work anymore.
If you haven't begun to get a significant portion of your assets outside of the financial system, which includes the banks, fiat currencies, and the overall stock market excluding gold stocks, you're preparing to play the victim.